So hello, everyone. We have a lot of new people, and that's why we're actually doing this presentation. So first, to kick off, I am Lynn with the ESTI Sisters, and that's Rachel, my actual sister. Actually, we're both currently in Kansas. She's upstairs and I'm downstairs, but I live in Wisconsin. Rachel lives in Kansas. And when we talk about AO Medical, who's where you're doing your ordering from and who you're going to be working with as well, they're located and headquartered in Yorba Linda, California. So we're a little cross country here, which is really cool. So how we decided to do this onboarding class is we have had a lot of new people signing up in the last couple of weeks. And we've been, fielding questions, hopping on calls, which we still love to do. And we're going to talk about discovery calls in a little bit. But we thought this would be a really good way to just explain a little bit more about Korean skincare, AO Medical, the ESTI Sisters, how we work together, how you can find, how you navigate the AO Medical website, and then also how you have access to the resources through Rachel and myself, various locations, and how to communicate with us. Because you do get that in emails, but we really thought this will make sense for us to walk through this. We're actually at one point going to do a screen share, and we're going to log in to the AO Medical site. We're going to navigate. We're going to walk in there, show you the key places and where you're going to find information. How do you order? How do you find tracking, shipping information, things like that. And then we'll also log into our ESTI Sisters website where you guys have access to a members only area. We're going to show you what's there, which is a fabulous lot of information there for you guys that was created in the last year. And then we're also going to touch base a little bit on our Facebook private group, for where you guys can get information and definitely communicate with everybody else in the community. So that's what we are doing this evening. We're going to definitely help you out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually just start the screen share. We'll start our first presentation going through some key pieces of information, and then we will do the screen share for the websites. And we are, like I said, recording this, so we're going to cover a lot of information. So we just want to make sure that you guys don't feel crazy overwhelmed, but I think this is going to help you guys out a lot. Rachel, I'm going to let you start. And here we go.
Okay, hi everybody. Just for those of you that don't notice, which I think there might be several of you on the call, we are the ESTI Sisters, Lynn and myself. We both are licensed estheticians and have been for each over 20 years plus. So I'd say together combined over 43 or something years, so a long time. And loving it, loving the profession. Prior to aesthetics, we actually were in corporate America. We did marketing. Lynn did international sales, business development, and I did a lot of human resources and marketing. And so that was fun. We decided to leave that and pursue this, and we've never looked back. It's been an amazing, amazing ride. We both are also business owners. And, because of our background in business and where we come from, we approach our education and training with you guys from a number of different angles. So it's not just, here's some great products, here's a great facial. It's also, how do we make this facial even better? How do we help you grow your business to where you want it to be in terms of profitability? What's the best retail strategies for these products? So we bring that to the table. And that's gotten us really excited. We've been working with AO Medical for over 4 years now as ESTI Sisters. And if I haven't mentioned, we're both actually sisters. And so anyway, I'm sure all of you guys too, or most of you have worked with a number of other skincare lines, and we too. I found needle-free filler facial over a decade ago. I think much about Korean skincare then, believe it or not, just the actual facial. It was great. At that time, we didn't have a line built around that amazing facial. But since then, I started dabbling into AO Medical products and just grew my business exponentially. Got Lynn involved. She did too. And then we are sharers. Some of you that know us on here, we love to share and encourage and support people in their goals. And so that is how we started working in this particular role, in our particular point in our careers. So now we're going to talk about a little bit about, how we relate to you more. The ESTI Sisters, we are your dedicated reps and educators for AO Medical. And we're a little bit different in that we're independent. So it's a unique relationship. And I think Lynn mentioned earlier, AO Medical is also a unique type of company because they're a distributor. So it's not like just one large brand name skincare line. This is giving you access to numerous lines that are really leading edge in Korea. But we want to share with you just some basics on how you reach us. If you guys are on Instagram, and maybe some of you that aren't really active, but you actually have an account, we love to communicate DM there. It just finds it super easy. It's one of the fastest ways, believe it or not, to reach us, because Lynn and I both see the message. And then also email is also really great. I want to say that, allow us 24 hours to get back to you. But when we do see some emergency or urgent, notices about orders and things like that, we do really try our hardest. But a lot of times we're on calls and we're in different meetings and helping other people. So again, different type of rep in that we do probably manage close to 500 people alone, but we're still able to provide you guys with a lot of support and education. And I think those of you that know us attest to the fact that we really do try to stay on it when you do ask questions right away in real time. So we do our best. We also want to say that people can message us, or have been sometimes, on our personal Facebook pages. And we just want to throw that out there, that is not monitored regularly, because if you guys can imagine, we've got a lot of different avenues where we're getting messages from people. And so, to check 4 or 5 different areas, it's a little tricky. So we're trying to funnel you guys into Instagram, email, and then even on our private Facebook group, which we're going to share more about you guys tonight, even messaging there, not so much to us, but more about topics related to questions on products and stuff like that. So we provide product education. We're going to provide protocol guidance. Lynn and I come up with our own protocols. We look at AO Medical and we pull products that we think are, extraordinary. Of course, most are, but, particularly like for what we're trying to deal with in our treatment rooms. And then we create protocols from that. We share that with you. Also, how do you integrate treatments into, with other modalities? So we go deeper than, let's just say a standard rep for a normal company. And then we also provide business and treatment strategy too. So there's a number of different ways that we're going to share tonight later in the presentation. They're going to give you ideas of how do you get support from us. Okay, great, that's what you do, but where do I go? So we'll cover that. So basically our goal is to help you guys build profitable treatments, you grow your retail sales, and then also differentiate yourselves in your practice using products, advanced products, from Korea to grow. So that is what our goal is here for you.
Hey. Yay. Okay. So I'm going to share a little bit about Korean skincare in general. Now, there are people that find us in AO Medical because they're specifically looking for Korean skincare, and they are, scanning and they're Google searching or in Facebook groups, and they're just wanting to learn more about Korean skincare. And so we want to highlight a little bit about what makes Korean skincare different. And then we also want to talk specifically about AO Medical and the brands that we have through AO Medical that makes those different. Okay. So Korean skincare in general, what we have going for us, which is really exciting, is, and we call it the momentum, Korean skincare momentum. It's been trending for several years, and primarily because Korea has built a reputation. They're really well known for their innovation and for their attention for skincare. And in particular, Rachel and I like to talk about it like this. In the US, we have clients that come to us more from a reactionary state, right? It's like, I have wrinkles, I have acne, I have rosacea, right? I have sun damage. In Korea, they view skincare completely differently. It's like a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle choice, a wellness choice. The kids between ages of 10 and 12 are actually given a skincare regimen to follow. And every couple weeks they go in for facial treatments. Okay. Not the kind with the pampering massage and stuff, but they go to care for their skin at a young age. So they look great. I mean, first and foremost, because if you could imagine how many of us, you can raise your hand, but how many of us, if we would have started when we were younger, taking care of our skin, washing twice a day, wearing sunscreen, not using tanning beds and yet laying out in the sun, where we would be today, So that is something that is very unique. And as a result of that, having that vision and that cultural approach to skincare. They stay on top of things. The other thing you're going to notice is that with Korean skincare, there's really a focus less on really drastic, aggressive treatments because they don't really need it, because they're really all about prevention and working with the skin and over the years from when they're younger, right? So they don't have to be so aggressive because they're not trying to correct years of abuse or years of neglect, right? So that is really unique. So we talk again about it being a daily lifestyle practice, really important. Most consumers, US consumers, already have a strong trust in Korean skincare. So it's not like you have to convince somebody going, hey, it's coming from Korea, it's coming from abroad. I only really trust US products. Korean has that. And we're going to talk a little bit more here about what makes Korean skincare even, I would say, more stringent, or you to trust even better than some of the US brands. We're going to talk about that in a second. But it's not like I make a joke because nothing special about Kazakhstan, but I just say this. I'm like, it's not like you have to tell your customers like, hey, yeah, I have a new product line from Kazakhstan. And they'll be like, what? How do we know that's good? Right? So with Korean, you don't have to worry about that because they already have this built in, the perception that it's going to be quality and safe. Okay. But now for you to actually know this for yourself, because occasionally we do have estheticians that are like, hey, I'm not sure if, because they have unique and different ingredients that we don't have access to, is that safe? Well, come to know that their equivalent of the FDA, it's called the MFDS. It's actually Korea's version of our FDA, and it is more stringent. And actually, they do have oversight of skincare and cosmetics, unlike what's in the United States. So, and I don't know if Rachel, if you want to just share a couple the differences, because it's not that in the United States that the FDA isn't supposed to regulate. They are, but they don't really strictly enforce anything. Whereas in Korea, they actually do strictly enforce the regulation of skincare and of cosmetics. Do you want to share a little bit, Rachel, about, you're muted, sorry.
Share about the regulations that they have?
Yeah, just the different things that they regulate.
Yeah. Labeling, more so than here. There's nobody really walking around, looking around at labels and making sure that what they say, their claims about collagen induction, things like that, are actually real. So that's an interesting thing to keep in mind. Ingredients, there really isn't anybody scanning. I mean, unless someone calls it to the FDA's attention and says they've got some dangerous ingredients in their products, it's not going to be flagged. So there's a lot of hype. I'm sure you guys, if you walk through trade shows, maybe you did your own research, you might find out that there is a lot of hype and misinformation out there, a lot of claims. And so that's what we do in the United States. We get away with a lot of that. Now, it doesn't say that there aren't some phenomenal products and skincare brands here. Absolutely. We're just saying that in Korea, just to rest someone's mind or put it at ease, the Koreans actually have a more stringent regulation standards set there for their products, really taking a look at things. And Lynn, you did explain about the MACRA.
Yeah, I'm going to share that in a second, but I also want to mention that they have 1,600 ingredients that are banned in Korea, and we have 11 in the United States. So that is also just to let you feel a little bit more, I would say comfortable, but yes, reassured that the products that are coming over. So when we talk about spicules, when we talk about growth factors, when we talk about exosomes, they're sourcing from top quality labs, and all these products, even though they may be used non-medical purposes, so in med spas or even with estheticians, that they do undergo stringent regulations, and same thing with their home care products, the retail products. So we want to really let you guys know that. Now, yes, Rachel.
So I was going to say, not only that, though, another thing I just remembered, it's even the evaluations of their facilities. So if a manufacturer claimed ISO 9000, it's a certain standard, or ISO 9002, whatever they're doing now, it's a certain way that they have to perform in this cleanliness standard, safety, et cetera, et cetera. In Korea, so the United States doesn't have it unless they've applied for that kind of standard in their manufacturing facilities. But in Korea, that's part of that regulatory factor, is they inspect. It's a whole different level guideline. Sorry.
No, that's good. And then with regard to a new arm of the FDA, we now have this division of the FDA called MACRA, MOCRA, large caps. So for those of you we do have some people on here that have already been working with AO Medical. So you might have seen some names changing. Okay. So just an example, we have a moisturizer called HOP Promoter Repair Moisturizer. It's now called Volume Boost Moisturizer. So in the next couple of years, what the FDA has done by creating this MACRA division or arm of the FDA is, even though they don't really regulate and scrutinize a lot of most of the US manufacturers, they are starting to do that with foreign brands, and they're actually starting with Asia, even before Europe. Okay. So what AO Medical has done, and in particular with the HOP and the Hevatox products that we're going to talk about, those product lines, they have started to become compliant. So what that means is, from a standpoint of security or safety, what the FDA is saying is that if somebody had a problem with a product that was made and manufactured in the US, they could call the company, they could call the FDA here if they had a complaint, right? But they're saying that they didn't have any recourse if somebody had a foreign product. What would they do? I mean, are they going to call Korea? What kind of, where are they going to go with that? So the FDA is requiring, and right now it's in the early stages, but they are, to be compliant, the packaging they're very limited in terms of claims that they can make. Okay. In terms of naming. So for example, we can't say collagen. We can't say cell repair. So that's why we've changed a lot of our names. Also, just in terms of like what you're going to say that a product can do, you have to be very limited. You can't make certain claims, even though in the US they're making claims left and right. We can't say that. And then also on the packaging, and then also on the boxes, you're going to see on the AO Medical, especially starting with the HOP, because that's what we're going to talk about in particular. One of the lines that the owner of AO Medical is co-owners in terms of manufacturing. So on their packaging, they started early. There's going to be a contact number and email in the US, so that if somebody had an issue or concern, they can actually reach directly out. And that's going to be something that you will see further on as this comes up. So maybe in the next couple of years, you might find some brands that don't choose to spend a lot of money to become MACRA compliant. They might not even be able to be imported into the United States. So we want you guys to know that the companies we're working with, and in particular, starting off with HOP and Hevatox, we've already started that process well over a year ago, so that we will be compliant. So it's not like they can say, oh, sorry, you can't import because you're not MACRA compliant. So that's really important.
Yeah, and that attests that attests to how amazing or commitment to quality, integrity, excellence that AO Medical is that some companies are going to slide under the radar because we don't know if it's even going to be policed here in the States. But AO Medical signing up for it and has spent tons of money doing that so that they had to review all their ingredients, everything. So you guys, when a lot of you that are new, this is a different beast. Not beast. This is a different angel nut. Meaning it's a different thing, here that you guys have available to you. So you can rest assured as you dive deeper with us and also into the products, you're going to understand too how unique an opportunity you have here is.
And the other big piece, guys, is that knowing that these regulations are coming around is that you can feel comfortable that like, hey, I'm bringing these on board. Is it going to be here in a year from now? I mean, that's like really key, right? So not a lot of companies are going to invest. It's been tens of thousands of dollars and that's only just to get compliant. All the repackaging, the renaming, the rebranding, that's a lot of money. Okay. So they have invested in that. So we know that these products are going to be here to stay. So that makes us feel more comfortable that as we're bringing them on into our practices, that we're not going to have to all of a sudden figure out in a year from now that we can't get these products. So that's really good. Okay. And then, we also want to mention just not all Korean skincare is created equal. Rachel and I like to use this. We're probably dating ourselves, but for those of you who remember the old drugstore brand that's still, I think, around, but remember Wet n Wild? When we were growing up, we could buy a lipstick or an eyeliner for like $1. And we always say that if that was selling, if that particular product line was selling in Europe or abroad, someone might be like, oh, an American brand, yay. But, those of us who know what that brand is, I mean, you could barely get that thing to like, the eyeliner wouldn't even really move, right? It's not a good eyeliner, not a good product. So not all Korean skincare is created equal either. And how you know that also is now you can see Korean skincare at drugstores. You can see them at, TJ Maxx. They're all over. And I'm not saying they're horrible products, but they're definitely going to not be the high performance med spa products that we have at AO Medical and that we want to have in our practices for the clients to actually see results. Something I want to mention here is that years ago, when we first started working with AO Medical, and I started seeing really changes in my practice early COVID, and it was like, I was starting to do a lot of just free coaching, some mentoring for some SDs with businesses. They were getting really concerned with how, fewer people were coming in at that time. And how can I keep my business afloat? There's so many estheticians. And the three key things that were important, I said, for them to really differentiate themselves was to have a product, not that's just unique. Because, I mean, you can find anything, you can find something really obscure and unique, right? But it has to be something that delivers immediate results, cumulative results, and lasting results. And that's what you're going to see from the AO products. So these are actually products that are used in medical spas, professional grade products that are used in estheticians' practices in Korea, not just sold in Korean drugstores, which some brands are sold there, but you don't really know that. So we just want to let you know that they're not all truly the same. So you can rest assured that AO Medical is dealing with top brands that are used in Korea. Okay. We just mentioned not all Korean skincare. Now, what makes it kind of different as well? They do have this focus on advanced ingredient technology. One thing that's crazy amazing is that what we really, really enjoy, and as you come to understand and know and become more familiar with Korean skincare, the professional brands that we offer, is it's very unique. And I think it's kind of just more of a marketing tool in the United States, that in Korea, you can have one product that's considered a standalone treatment product that will have brighteners, antioxidants, wound healing ingredients, biostimulators, growth factors. Whereas in the United States, you'll find that you have a separate hyaluronic acid product. You'll have a separate brightener product. You'll have a separate, calming, soothing product like Azuline or something. You will read the ingredient decks from these products, and it's hard for us to even choose the 5, 6 ones to highlight per product on a box because there are so many. So most of these products will be doing multiple things, which is very unique, very, cost effective for your customers and for you as well. So that's something that's very different. Very much focus on skin regeneration and improvement of barrier function. So almost all the products, I don't know of any that I've seen so far that don't have literally not only antioxidants, but wound healing ingredients like Sika. Sika is something that you guys are going to learn a lot about. It's like an umbrella. One of them happens to be Centella asiatica extract, which comes from Gotu. It's actually a medicinal herb in Europe that's used for wound healing. So you'll see a lot of the products have these wound healing ingredients in them. And then innovative treatments and delivery systems. So just a highlight, but we have a needle-free filler facial. That's actually how Rachel, came into learning about AO Medical. So we figured out, the Koreans through TOV Medical figured out a way to push in and penetrate polylactic acid, which is a biostimulator that's used in a very well-known biostimulating injectable to stimulate one's own collagen. So they're the only ones who actually have this technology because it happens to be a very difficult molecule and an expensive molecule to work with. So that's like an example. Also, we're the first of its kind through TOV Medical to have a topical neurotoxin that's, again, a difficult molecule to work with. And they've figured out how to work with different peptides and to actually have it be effective. So that is something that's really, really unique that we don't even see in the United States, but we do see this in Korea. So the quality, integrity formulations can vary across brands. But again, rest assured that AO Medical only brings in the top brands and the one that she's vetted. And you'll also know that sometimes you'll see things. For those of you guys, many of you are new. We have a lot of people, though. I know we have a big group here tonight, so we do have a lot of, I do believe we have people that are been working with us for a while. But for example, when exosomes first dropped, they actually came out, 2-3 years ago. Rachel and I were at trade shows. People are bringing them in. We really waited before we brought in our exosomes to make sure that we got the best, the safest, the most tested internationally with studies before we brought one in. So we just didn't dump on the bandwagon because it was trending. So we want you to know that they're really patient. And when they do bring in products, even though you might see it dropping somewhere else, same thing with modalities, they really want to make sure that they're bringing in the best and the safest for us. Okay. Yes, Rachel.
I was going to say at the same time, when PDR started circulating around, because someone wrote an article on salmon sperm in Hollywood, and that kind of took off. Then everyone got kind of excited or interested. AO Medical has already had those in their products. So you'll often find that what's hitting the market today has already been available to you or will be available to you through your wholesale account. And that is also really exciting too. So whenever in doubt and say, I've heard of this, what do you have? We'll go, what we have, and we'll let you know.
And sometimes that's just a name thing. So when salmon sperm was trending, right, and PDRN, actually the INSEE code, which is the international nomenclature for labeling and packaging, it's known as sodium DNA. Okay, so it's not listed as PDRN. Technically, is the botanical, the nomenclature. So we've had that for a long time. So sometimes it's just like you're hearing something and you think it's new, but it actually has been around for quite a long time. And in the Korean brands that we work with have had it for a long time. Okay, so next we're going to talk a little bit about AO Medical and the platform, what makes AO Medical unique. And and I'm glad you guys are on tonight because it is very unique. So from the standpoint, AO Medical, Lydia King's the owner. They're headquartered in Yorba Linda, California. They actually are a distributor. So that's something very unique for 8+ brands. Okay. And this means that you have access to, and I just listed a few here, Tranme, O2Derm, Skimbolic, Dr. Esty, Duomore, Skin Culture, Internature, that's separate from our TOV that we're going to talk about. It's our kind of our flagship right there. So that oftentimes, for those of you who've been practicing skincare for a while, rarely do you find one brand that does everything, whether it's for rosacea, hyperpigmentation, anti-aging, acne, right? So that's oftentimes, well, most of us have 2 or 3 brands, not necessarily complete brands, but we kind of pull a few products for different companies, right? So the really great benefit that you guys have from AO Medical is that you have the ability to pick and choose from different product lines, different brands to create not only amazing protocols, which Rachel and I have done. So when we have, I'll just give an example, our advanced skin brightening facial, we're pulling from probably 3 or 4 different product lines, different brands to create a wonderful treatment for maximum brightening impact. Okay. So that's something really unique for you guys. So if you want to, not only a lot of people come to us for our initial anti-aging products, but we want to let you know that you can seriously do one-stop shopping. We'll talk a little bit about the benefits of doing that as well, because there are definitely benefits financially and to build, to increase your profitability by having all that kind of under one roof. But we want you guys to know that. So AO Medical, in addition to being a distributor, the owner, Lydia King, is partnered with, she's like co-owner, founder of TOV Medical. They're the ones who manufacture our beloved HOP, which stands for House of PLLA, and our Hevatox. So I want to mention this to you. For those of you new to us, which several of you are, the House of PLLA was rebranded, I don't know, Rachel, maybe 4 years ago, 5 years ago. It used to be called Sculpla, okay? Too close and too similar to an injectable that has a name that's very familiar, very similar to that, okay? So we needed to rebrand for the US market. So Sculpla is still sold in Korea. However, when they underwent the rebranding, now known as HOP or House of PLLA, we doubled the amount of polylactic acid, we doubled the amount of growth factors, and we pulled out the artificial fragrance, okay? So it's actually a different product for the US than it is actually in Korea. So it's even more beneficial. We also changed the needle-free filler facial to have maximum amount of, it also increased in terms of the actives, but also the sheet mask became larger for larger faces and thicker so that it has ease of application. It doesn't like break apart as fast. So it definitely is much easier to work with. So we have had changes with the rebranding. Okay. And then just for those of you who are not so familiar yet, I know a lot of you do come to us learning about the House of PLA, the HOP or the needle-free filler facial, but polylactic acid is the PLLA, and that is the same ingredient that's in dissolvable sutures and is a biostimulator. Okay. So that is the basis of that line. Hevatox is the only one that we know of to date that is the only retail product that actually uses topical neurotoxin. Okay, so we call it a topical lifting protein, but it actually is topical neurotoxin. Okay, and then it's also TOV Medical is home to the Time Master Pro, and some of you came to us knowing just that device. So the Time Master Pro is a phenomenal, affordable, can be used in the treatment room and home care. It's 90,000 oscillations per second ultrasound, LED, red, blue, green, and very strong EMS on the top, the levels 2, 3, and 4. Rachel, I'm going to just mute myself for a second.
Okay, so Lynn was just finishing up on the Time Master Pro, which has been global for a long time now, very successful. And then also unique about AO Medical is that master distributorship that we shared, but also include all these other lines: Tramd, O2 Derm, Skinbolic, Dr. Esti, Duomore, Skin Culture, Inner Nature. And these aren't just random brands. These are highly vetted brands. And I want you to know too about the skincare, Korean skincare that others are doing out there too. I don't know about everyone, and I'm not going to talk about anybody else, but what I do know is that these brands are actually literally used by Korean people, if that matters to you, in spas, in doctors' offices that have estheticians. So that is also a really unique, not unique, that really makes it more authentic, right? It's an authentic company. So Lynn had shared, the one-stop shopping. That is just a huge benefit to all of us there. Do you want to jump in? You want me to finish?
Yeah. No, I can jump back. Sorry,
Oh,
I just
okay.
had a little.
That's
Sometimes
okay.
you talk a lot, you get the little frogs. Okay, so benefits of AO Medical account. We already mentioned the one-stop shopping. You also gain, like we mentioned, multiple access to multiple skincare lines. Also, not only the treatments, but then also various devices. So, if you guys don't know this, in addition to like the Time Master Pro, we've got everything from the O2 Derm oxygen generator. We have machines that are actually like dual frequency ultrasound with hydrodermabrasion, such microdermabrasion, but diamond tip. We've got different devices, cool laser, like with our Keras device. We have so many different modalities. So, and very affordable and very good quality, all coming from Korea. So before you guys, explore too many other places, always reach out to us and ask us if we have a particular machine or modality, because we do have a lot. Okay. No minimum opening orders, which is fabulous. Okay. And kind of unique in today's market. So actually, if you guys want to just try a product or two, you guys are more than welcome to do that. Ordering benefits, free shipping on $300 or more, no online price discounting, which means if anybody, it doesn't matter who you are, you guys can retail online. So we just want you to know this, you can, and people would do. However, no one can actually have a sale and sell below the manufacturer suggested retail price. There is no selling on Amazon or eBay. Okay. And if you would ever see anything like that or something discounted, you would do a screenshot, you would send it to Rachel and myself. We would let AO Medical know. People are given like basically a 10 or 15-minute warning. And if they don't pull that down, they can no longer purchase from AO Medical. So that is very unique in today's industry. I shouldn't say most, many manufacturers do go direct to consumer now, and AO Medical does not do that. So with any of their brands, we don't go direct to consumer. That's really important. Okay. So we have that comfort level that we don't have to worry about them, going around to our customers either. And that's another reason I want to mention, because I don't know if we're going to talk a little bit later, but we don't actually have drop shipping because they don't take information of our customers. So we don't have that. We're actually just business to business, distributor only, selling to licensed professionals, which is really unique. We also have a generous, unique gift with purchase program. So once you hit $500, you get to choose a free gift by that dollar amount, and the gifts will go up significantly. So 500, 1,000, 1,500, 2,000, 300, etc. We're going to talk a little bit more, show you how to find that, when to put it in so you don't forget. But if you're not, because it's not something really common. So if you guys really order from your laptop or your iPad, stick a Post-it note up there and say, don't forget to add free gift. Okay. Because it really, really is unique. It allows you to try new products as a tester, a back bar, for yourself, to be able to test out for your customers. So really great options. Okay. Very, very unique. They also samples, they'll throw samples in when they do have them. And brochures, we have that literature and stuff like that available for you guys as well. So those are just some things that are very unique to AO Medical. Okay, now Rachel is going to tell you a little bit of how to actually, some of you might not have actually signed up or activated an account yet, and we want to walk through that right now.
Okay, so most of you have filled out the ESTI Sister or AO Medical Wholesale / Community Profile form. That allows you to be connected to us as your reps and educators, your support. You would have received 3 emails. One is a welcome email on how to activate and access your account. One is an ordering guide, a real basic, and one is accessing ESTI Sister support and education. Now, while we're going to do a brief, just a quick snapshot showing you what those emails look like, but then we're going to go actually onto the site and show you. So everyone who filled out that form should have gotten an email from, obviously from us. This is one of them. info@aomedusa.com would have sent you an activation email. So if you haven't gotten that, check your junk or do a search. Okay, so that's a big deal. That's how you go ahead and create your password and set up your account. Okay, so then the next email that came from us, ESTI Sisters, you can also search your email for that too, ESTI Sisters, is actually how to order. So we are going to walk through that though in a second, but just in case you want this resource, you can search ESTI Sisters and you'll find this email. It's going to ask you who you're working with. It's going to say AO Medical, AO Brenda, ESTI Sisters. You always check off ESTI Sisters. And then that's going to automatically populate free shipping at $300. So that's a big deal. And Lynn had mentioned no opening orders. And I don't know if you mentioned no online discount. You mentioned that, right, Lynn? Yeah, big deal. Okay, so that is that email. And then the last email we sent you is links to get into all of our support. So again, we're going to cover that tonight. We're going to go in and show you actually how to click and where to go. But if you search your email for ESTI Sisters, ESTI Sisters, you'll have this email, and below are actually links to get into the private Facebook group that is just for you guys, and also onto our website. And then also, if those are some of you that want to, you can also set up a discovery call with us to chat about what your needs are, you know, and we can go from there too. So now that you've activated your account, you created your password, you've got access, we're going to kind of show you how to navigate through the site. And I think Lynn had mentioned too that this is out of Korea. And so they do design things a little bit differently. So it is a little, sometimes a little learning curve at first, but we can tell you that it is worth the effort. It is. And it could be a little gatekeeper for people that just don't want to try so hard. But if you want to try, it is unbelievable. So when you, okay, so now we're going to start with just basic. If those of you that haven't seen this, this is what it looks like. And there is going to be a basic login. Did you already click on login, Lynn? So way up at the top corner, the right-hand corner, there's login. You want to hover over it for a second?
Yeah, sorry, I was talking and didn't realize I was unmuted. Yes, so I logged out and I'm going to log in again.
Oh,
okay, so can you guys see? I'm circling with my little mouse here. Can you guys see that? It's on the right-hand side, login. So I'm going to click login. Okay, so I have my information saved. I'm sorry. So we're going to log in.
Which makes it convenient.
Okay.
Okay, so this screen, Lynn, hover over the little head with the shoulders. So right where you logged in, there's a little person there. Whenever you want to go find out your past orders or even status on your current order, you click on the little head with shoulders, and then you're going to see. So Lynn's last order is that top one. And we're going to show you that when you click on it, you'll actually get access to tracking. That's how you find out. So you click on, you don't need to click on it, Lynn, if you don't want to, but you click on this green part there. And that is your, either it's USPS or UPS tracking. And it'll tell you where it is at in the system. So that is really important. People want to find out status of their order. There you go. And we also just want to note that Lynn and I don't have access to your orders or the system. And so we don't know where your order is. So what we do when you call us or email or whatever is tell you, go to the little circle with the shoulders and then go look it up. And then obviously if there's an issue or whatever.
And it'll tell you fulfillment status. So it'll say fulfilled, not fulfilled.
Yep. That is a big deal. Now, I also want to say that if anybody has any questions on this any particular topic we're talking about, just put it in the chat. But
why don't we mention here really quickly though, just because I know we're going to talk about orders in general, but sometimes you'll see an order that says unfulfilled and it's sitting there and sitting there. It's really important to read, Rachel. I think we were going to talk about this before I moved on. Okay.
Nope. No,
Okay.
no.
So I'll let you talk about that then, because it's going to talk about back ordered items and stuff. Yes.
Okay, there is a lot to talk about. So up at the top, most people miss this. Do you see all that brown and black up there? So
Mhm.
that's important because this matters to you when you're placing orders. So first of all, free shipping at 300 when you check off you're working with ESTI Sisters, but also the gifts with purchase start at 500. It's just letting you know, reminding you to add it to the cart. You also if you want to do PayPal and Klarna, you have to check out as a guest. Now, this is not unusual for Shopify people that are familiar with Shopify accounts. So you're normally ordering, you go in, you got all your information. Oh no, I want to do Klarna. Well, you got to go scroll down to the bottom, and it says we'll show you later, but it says check out as guest. And then the other thing here, it says they don't provide drop shipping. Enter your cell phone number because you can sign up for text messaging, and then it's nice. They'll say your order is shipped or your order has arrived. So that's really nice. And then the most important thing, I think, is a couple things. There is signature required on all devices, period. There's no option for that. And that's just your protection and AO Medical's protection and the device's protection. But also for just boxes in general, if you've got products in there, you just don't have someone to sign and it's a safe area, you actually have an opportunity to check off signature required or not. And we'll show you that as we go to the cart and exit out later. Let's see. The other thing that's really important is when you see a back ordered item or sold out, next shipping date is April 1st. You can add that to your cart, but by doing so, it's going to hold up your entire order, and your entire order will ship all at once April 1st when that new product comes in. So we always want to alert people to that, particularly new people, that you have to place a separate order. And reason being here is that AO Medical is a boutique firm, and they're not massive, and they're not, mass marketing to the retail client and the business to business and all that, where they got this whole machine going. And so they're extraordinarily generous with their free gifts. I mean, seriously, you guys, if you take a look, which will show you where to find these gifts, they're outstanding full size gifts, even machines and devices we're getting for free, depending upon our order. And so in order for them to do that, they can't, not just that, but also they've got 8 different lines. So could you imagine, shipping dates changed, customs didn't allow this in yet, and it would just be a living nightmare to be shipping out onesie twosies everywhere from people's orders. So it's just impossible not set up that way. So it is a little frustrating at first, we understand, but if you know it in advance, then you know how to work. You know how to work it. Okay.
Mhm. And then also just in terms of when to ship. So if you got your order in, they're saying allow 1 to 2 business days for the order to be processed, and then they ship priority service. So it usually takes 2 to 3 days, depending on where you are in the country, just to let you guys know that. They tend to ship either USPS, like flat rate boxes, or for larger orders, they'll ship UPS. That's
Mm-hmm.
pretty standard. And then for anybody who's on, and we might have some international people on because they do ship internationally. There's it's not free shipping, but a flat rate shipping fee of 85 no matter what you order, which is pretty darn amazing. So I don't know if any of you ships internationally, but you ship a little flat rate box and it's about 50, 60 just for a little flat rate box. So just that's another little piece of information because people ask how fast can I expect things?
Yep. And expecting is the 1 to 2 days. So some people, when they place an order at 4 o'clock on a Friday, are kind of wondering where their order is on Monday, believe it or not. So I just want to just tell you guys, there's business days and then there's cutoff. So when you're doing something late in the afternoon, it's not going to be seen as entered until the very next day. And then they actually have 24 hours to 48 hours to ship that out. And then it goes 2 to 3 days. So it's relatively, fast, but today's climate out there with shipping
And then Amazon and yeah.
and I mean, things are slowing down in general, but they do pretty good job. Just to let you know, the weekend does matter, and when you place your order matters. Okay, now how do I find products? Oh my goodness. Well, here's several ways. You can. Well, I guess we're going to actually start going down the menu first. Is that good, Lynn?
Yep.
We're going to start going down the menu first. What is up at the top there? Because it's cut off for me.
Home. And that
Home.
just gets you back to this front page here with your orders.
Yeah. And then homepage, if you scroll, you're not going to do it, Lynn, but there's also some blog information, blogging.
Yeah, here's the home. And
Okay.
if some people it shows up when you first log in, sometimes mine takes me right to my orders, but this is the home. So it'll give you a nice little graphic here. It'll give you some blogs
Yeah.
and all articles, and then new this month. For those of you who don't know that, they always have new this month, and there's lots of new products every month.
Yeah, because when you have 8 different lines, you're like, how the heck do I know what's going on? So this is a really great way. And then also, Lynn and I try to share things too on the private Facebook group as well. Okay, so then back to the main menu, that hamburger horizontal 3 lines is going to be your friend. They recently added a special value limited time. You want to click on that one?
Yep.
This is a unique section. You want to click on one of the products, or what does it say about what this is, this particular? There's no
just extra special limited time. These are the specials that they're not related to the dates. They're just
okay. So
yeah.
these are
Here, I'll click on this. This is one of my favorites actually, because I go through a lot of sunscreen. And my favorite is the buy 5, get 1 free, guys, which is amazing.
Yeah.
So,
and oftentimes they do already have like set of 15 or, massive amounts, because AO Medical is dealing with some major large distributors as well, and they're global. So obviously I'm not buying 88 right now, but if you are, I think that's wonderful. But this is not normal, the 5 + 1 free. So that's a unique thing. And because of how fabulous these products are, we do get excited about this, because you could see how it increases your revenue, quite a bit. Okay, so that is that section where there's extra little specials going on, and that can vary, usually not daily, but usually monthly or so. Now, this next one is new. This is a value promotion. There is a blog article about expiration dates. There is actually no law that says you have to have them necessarily even on your packaging. They actually can last a lot longer than the packaging, and a lot of companies just put them on there 2 years, 3 years, whatever, figuring they're going to move through them. But AO Medical does have access to some phenomenal deals every now from time to time, where they can get things that are, quote, on the label say expired, but they're actually not. They're still incredible for another 2, sometimes even 3 years, or sometimes a year. They'll let you know. Lynn and I actually take advantage of this because I feel like I'm kind of heavy-handed. So can you scroll up a little so I can see some of the products, Lynn? Or down, whatever. So when I have, some of these products and I know that I got a really good deal for them, I feel like extra luxe that I can use them in a number of different ways. But right now, let's say on the growth factor, Pileo growth factor solution, which is a very dynamic, powerful serum and an ampule, there's a buy 1, get 1 free. Okay, so pretty amazing opportunities here. So there are a lot of people that take advantage of that. Going forward, the whole expiration thing is going to change because a lot of our products actually last for 5 years, believe it or not, unopened. Okay, unopened. And so they are going to be changing that. So you'll be seeing a very long expiration dates on our products. And that, again, is approved by MACRA. It's already evaluated, and it's true. And so you'll be seeing maybe less of this on here. So take advantage of it while it is on here. Okay. Okay. I didn't really see what category that was. Sorry, my
sample packs. Packs.
Okay, so so when you're a distributor and you buy things, it's you have to choose. You have to buy them in 10,000 SKU, 10,000 product SKUs. It's a huge amount of volume and stuff to bring in products. So it's not feasible to carry samples on every single product in 8 different lines. I'm sure you guys can understand that. It's kind of crazy. But what AO Medical has done is, because Lydia is AO Medical's co-owner of the TOV line, which they have the HOP and the Hevatox line, they do have some packets of the Cavi, a couple of the products there for you to purchase. And you scroll a little down. And I think that's it. Yeah, for the Cavi. Now, they can throw in products or samples into your order, like whatever they have available that they're given by the manufacturer, they'll probably throw some in your order. If you feel that you want a particular sample, you can request it, and we'll show you where the note section is later in your order. You can say, hey, if you have any of this, I'd really love it. There's no guarantee, because they don't know really what they're going to get from their manufacturer either. And right now, all the brands aren't really set up to like sell bunches and boxes of samples. It's just not what they're doing right now. But we do know
we're looking into it, but yes, at least for a few of the top sellers, we're going to look into it.
We do know you guys. We definitely you guys are looking for it. Okay. We've got next, hang on before you click, let me see what you're doing. Okay, AO Medical treatments. Okay, before you click on any, we've got pro treatments, which are, all of our back off our, how do you call it? In treatment room treatments. And then we wanted them to separate out filler facial, because it is such an amazing, crazy thing. And that's usually what we lead with when we go to trade shows and in a lot of our training. It's a very unique thing. So that is where the filler facial, the needle-free filler facial is housed. And then we've got Time Master Pro and other modalities. That's where you'll find your handheld devices, your O2 derm machine, oxygen, and things like that. There's also, want to scroll down with me, Lynn, and circle what I'm talking about. There we go. Bundles and protocols. Sometimes, like, a lot of our stuff through ESTI Sisters is for you guys, and it's going to be kind of private to you. But there's several sometimes though that AO Medical actually takes our protocols, puts them on the site, or we'll say, hey, we're really talking to our ESTIs about a brightening facial. You know, instead of having them go onesie twosies and purchasing things, can we just combine it in a bundle? So when you can click there, Lynn. What you'll see here sometimes is some of those protocols already bundled out for you. It's not necessarily a savings per se, but it's just an ease of purchasing on that. But some other bundles, there is some savings. For example, if you scroll to the top, AO Medical has retail kits and also pro kits, you know, which also include some of the retail products. Now, the pictures sometimes out of Korea are not reflective of what would be included in your bundle. So oftentimes people say, how come I didn't get 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, what are 10 products? So when you are looking at this information, when you're ordering, really look at the print. Want to click on that? Yeah. And check out what it says is going to be included. Don't go by a photo necessarily. So for example,
lots of different options here.
Yep. So right here goes 1, 2, 3, 4 products for that price. And there is a savings here. Definitely is a savings when you buy it this way. And then we will be talking about our protocols and all that in a little bit. Yep. Okay. So that is also an option for you, and a way of ordering. And also for some of you that want to try some of the products. So I think you save maybe 25 to $30 if you order, if you want to try like the whole little kit, which is great. Okay. So moving down, we've got,
facial tools.
Yeah, facial tools, conductive massage cream. They're kind of separated out, microneedling. So anybody that microneedles, this is a great way to find out specifically which products are designed to be used that way. So they need to be refrigerated, used within a week. It's in a sterile container, and that's why that is highlighted separately so that you know, because that is a very big deal. Anything that's not on here should not be microneedled into the skin. That would be just a good way. We also have they try to group products that are good for after microneedling, laser treatments. MTS here is actually referring to our microneedling device, but it's microneedling and laser treatment. So we have a lot of creams and serums that are really good for calming and soothing, repairing, healing, starting that process with your clients. You can also search by mask treatments, back bar products. Now, when we say back bar products, there are some larger sizes, but you're going to find a lot of times there's one size and we use it in back bar and we sell it in retail. So just keep that in mind as well. And then we also have some body treatments too. I want to click on, Lynn, if you go up, I want to click on AO Medical Treatments for a second. Now click on the pro treatments, or filler facial treatments, for example.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Filler facial treatments. Okay, so you guys, this is also important, and this is kind of like a little bit of a pain, but we're working with it, and we do the best we can here. So you're gonna go over and you're gonna see, oh, needle-free filler facial, it's a 15-pack. Now, on some screens or in some menu items, you might not see right away the 5 kit and the 45 kit. So you might stop and say, oh, all I have is a 15-pack. I wanted whatever. You might see a moisturizer, and you stop and say, "Oh my gosh, it's 400 retail. There's no way I'm going to be offering that. It's a $225, wholesale." Okay, so we're going to tell you that you have to scroll down and see about the other opportunities for that particular product. So I'm going to
do a quick search, Rachel, just to show you
an easy way to do that is you use the search bar and you type the name of the product, like Volume Boost. And then, Volume Boost. And then you're going to see all the products that actually are from that particular line. Now, some it's going to pick up others because she didn't say moisturizer, but if she just said moisturizer, you're going to see all the options, and she's going to do that. Yeah. There you go. Okay.
But now, that's because normally they're repackaging. So normally, you guys, there would be the larger size. There would be the 250 mLs, and then there would be two 200 ml options. So that's what Rachel's talking about. So normally you wouldn't see those all, like you would think in some cases, in some shops, when you click on a product, they'll say, oh, here's a 50 ml, here's a 100 ml, here's a 150 ml. In this case, you're clicking on a different link for the different sizes. That's what makes it unique. So that's what Rachel's saying, that sometimes
Yeah.
there's multiple sizes and you won't know that until you pan out and look at the rest of the
Yeah,
options.
and like for example, if you found the acne safe sensitive skin volume boost moisturizer, you might be like, oh, that's it. Well, there's actually one for normal dry skin. So I'm just throwing that out there to you, just to consider when. And also, we'll help anybody who needs help maneuvering, your first order and stuff, because it can be a little challenging. Okay, so going back to the menu.
Okay, I'm here.
Yeah.
Do you want me to go to?
Okay, so another way to find products grouped together is by brand. So click on the TOV Medical. So you're like, gosh, I just want to see everything, and easier way than looking through all the moisturizers for the HOP line, for example, and all the exfoliants. Well, here you can search by brand, and so you'll see everything in the line, including all the sizes, all in one area. This is also nice. So this particular grouping has all the Hevatox, that's that neurotoxin line, as well as the PLA HOP line. Okay, so keep that in mind. You can also search by brand. Lynn and I really do love the search bar, but when you're new, it's kind of nice to check out all the products that are available in a particular line. And we usually, when we're starting with anti-aging with people, we usually highlight these because they're really quite other level.
And you can see how many brands. There's a lot of brands there. So
Yep.
really nice. And some of them, by the way, you guys, when you work with us, the cool thing is one of the many cool things, but one of the cool things that we've already tried like pretty much almost every product, every new product, every product that exists. So yes, you guys can go ahead and explore and play around. I mean, some of you are going to love to do deep dives and do that because some of us are kind of junkies like that. We enjoy that. But if you're not, and you're like, okay, that's just too overwhelming to click at 8 brands and go, oh, I see 5 that have vitamin C's or 6 that have brightening products. We've already kind of done a lot of the homework and research for you with our own customers too, to let you know with our home care treatment protocols and stuff like our home care regimens and our treatments in the treatment room, which ones we think are the highest performance and which we prefer. So you can just follow our protocols and our home care daily regimens. So you don't have to worry about trying to figure out there's so much overlap there, just to let you guys know. Because that can get a little overwhelming that you have access to so many different brands. So it's great. And it can be a little overwhelming, but we've already done a lot of that footwork for you.
Yeah, and we'll show you where to find our cheat sheet on suggested home care by skin type. What we feel we have found to be the best, for our practices for those people with those conditions. Okay, AO Medical Insight is their blog. So if you guys want to read about expiration dates, if you want to read about Temester Pro, exosomes, how they came up and sourced, and a whole bunch of, if you've got time and want to learn, it's a great perspective. Yep.
Lots of different things. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, and that is extra information, tariffs and things like that.
Here's the Klarna. Here's this. This is very important for you guys.
Yep, information.
This is for those of you who are having a little bit of issues with PayPal, Klarna. Rachel, do you want to just mention that if anybody has an issue with one of the payment options, that's something like that is between you and the company in terms of like your credit or whatever? Because a lot of people will be like, oh, I'm having a hard time getting connected or approved by Klarna. That's for you and Klarna to figure out. AO Medical offers these different payment options, but when you actually apply to use one of them, that's going to be an issue that you're going to have to resolve with the company, because it's available to you. But if you're trying to figure out why you can get credit or not, that would be with you and the company. But here's more information on how to use those systems, and that's under the updates.
Yeah,
okay,
and then
now.
Sorry. And before we go on, Lynn, you should probably click off that 10%. But guys, when you first sign in, you'll get 10% off. It'll pop up and it says sign up for their text messages, and that's for your orders and stuff. They really haven't done much else besides ordering and things like that, updates. You can take 10% off. You'll get a code of your order, but it doesn't include devices. So that's also a great opportunity. Think about that as well. You won't get free shipping that particular time, but if you've got a good enough order and you figure it out, it actually comes out your ahead by choosing the 10% off. Okay, so exciting here, a special offer, free gift with purchase. Do you want to cover that, Lynn?
Sure. This is probably one of the most unique features, separate from the no minimums, that we absolutely love. And in fact, I've never seen this really anywhere else. So I'm lucky with some of the other brands that I work with for them to throw in a free sample. Seriously. Okay. So what this is that once you've put products in your cart, and this is pre-tax, you're going to have a dollar amount. So this is why we really want to stress this, because we're seeing less and less of this, but there would be many times where we would notice that people would have like $490, for their order, not realizing maybe that if you hit $500, you got to choose a free gift in this category. And we're going to show you, because they're actually very generous. They do change and they're very generous. Okay. And so then you want to always make sure, and the same thing if you're close to the next category. So let's just say your order is like 990. If you hit 1,000, the value of your free gift almost doubles. So you definitely want to look at the different changes in terms of the levels, the tiers for the free products. So we're looking at 500, 1,000, 1,500, etc. So this is something that you need to add to your cart before you check out. We will show you that when you go to checkout, because you want to obviously see how much is in your cart, you're going to go back to the hamburger, you're going to go back to the drop-down menu, and then you're going to go free gift by dollar amount, add that free gift, and then it will populate your cart. Now, a couple things about this. When you do go back and you add your free gift, you have to have the amount in your cart to match up with that category. So, for example, if you have $990 in your cart, you won't be able to click on a gift in the 1,000 category. Okay. If you have 550, you're going to click on something in the 500 category. Okay. Also, some of you like to shop, populate, come back, think about it, come back a day later. If your cart has sat over 24 hours, the free gift drops out. So it's no longer in your cart and you're going to need to re-add it. Really, really, really important. Once you do add that free gift, verify before you actually do your final checkout. You will see it show up in your cart that the free gift is there. So we want you to make sure that you have taken advantage of that and you have it. Okay. So, and then by the way, sometimes Lydia, very generously, if you forget to add a gift, she will throw one in there. But it's very difficult to say, oh, I've missed one. Can I add it next time, or can you ship it? This is like a very generous gift. She's not just going to randomly ship it and pay shipping to send it out. So you really, 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 really want to stay on top of it. Most of us, I guess, in the beginning may forget in the beginning, but once you really know what's here, like when I place my orders, I'm always trying to think about, 500, what am I going to get for that amount? 1,000, what am I going to get? I never want to leave that free gift on the table. So I always want to take advantage. So we'll just show you really quickly. In the 500 categories, you can get a 5-pack of the Paleo Growth Factor ampules, a small cavi, a large bottle of our 5-ounce of our Azuline ampule from Dr. ESTI. So lots of opportunities to try a product again or to sample it. One thing is when you get to larger dollar amounts, I'm just going to click to like a lot of you have joined and bought like our cold plasma Dr. Playton device. So that's in the 3,000 category. So when you get up to the 3,000 category, this is where you start to take advantage of free devices. So you've got in the 3,000 category, a free Time Master Pro, which retails for $800. You can get a 15-pack of the needle-free filler facial. And by the way, for those of you not familiar with that, I charge $250 for that using 10 minutes of cold plasma. So 15 needle-free filler facials times 250 gets you it pretty much pays for almost your entire $3,000 order, right? You've got other devices that you can take advantage of. And then the free gifts will increase significantly from there. Yes, Rachel.
Well, I wanted to add too, when we're at trade shows, I get super excited because I feel this is always since I was a kid, like when I was working at a shop when I was in high school and at Lord & Taylor Clearance Center, I don't know if any of you, cashmere was like $30, camel hair coat was like 80 or something like that, normally 500. I get very excited. And so this company does get me very excited. And here's why too. Not only these gifts phenomenal, but then oftentimes you get other gifts. For example, the Dr. Playton, there's actually right now a special that you can get a whole $300 value gift in addition to your gift with purchase. And so why I get so and why I get so extra excited is it's not just it's not just like getting trashy stuff. Like I know how exquisite these products are, and that's why I get like almost like crazy excited because you really have an opportunity here. It is the most generous company we've ever worked with in our life and the highest quality product. So just for perspective, you get a whole 10 vials of the Dr. SD Dr. Cell Booster solution for microneedling, or after
Exosomes.
plasma
Yep.
or exosomes, and then you could get to go back and choose even a device, So always check out that as well. And I hope that you guys, understand that too. That's pretty great.
Okay, and I just want to see if we left anything else. Okay, and I think that's pretty much, you can log out here. That's the rest of the stuff on the drop-down menu. Okay, so now we're going to head over to like adding something to our cart. So I'm going to go ahead and add something, the
Yeah.
Dr. Playton. Okay.
Yeah, you go ahead. Hey, Lynn, go ahead and add that. I just want to answer two questions real fast. Okay, so people are asking about the menu bar. Sometimes it's difficult to access the top 3 choices when they're on their cell phones. And so what I want to tell you is what's worked for me, because I use cell phone a lot as well. Turn it horizontally while you're trying to get to those top 3 menu options. So that's a quick way, but also because it's such, an interesting topic and it's real. Lydia, the owner, has actually underneath that blog, the Insight, AO Medical Insight, has a whole thing on how to navigate. Actually, not the Insights. It's under, I'll tell you.
The updates here.
And yes, it's called AO Medical Updates, Crystal. AO Medical Updates.
It says,
Yes.
Understanding mobile pop-up sizing issues and how to resolve them. So that is under the Insights.
Yeah. So I noticed, like for me, when I
under updates. Sorry.
When I can't see, I increase my font size, and that really blew me, out of the water because I couldn't see really much of anything on the menu. So I had to like reduce it a little bit and figure that out. So read that. That's a resource. And then the one last question you had was, why don't they drop ship? You understand, free gift for us, but drop ship is more convenient. Absolutely more convenient. And so when you're dealing with big companies that drop ship, they actually started doing that part of COVID, and so did AO Medical for a while. But those other companies aren't boutique like AO Medical, and they're not selling directly to your clients. Most of those other companies, there's a few exceptions, are selling right to your clients. So it's very easy for them because they're used to popping out stuff. They got a whole shipping program working, very inexpensive for them, retail. And so it's just a different thing. But we absolutely understand and appreciate that because I've had the same issue as well. Lynn and I use something for free called Pirate Ship, like Ahoy, Pirate Ship. Up to 70-80% reduction in costs. So I can ship out packages for $5-6 for one product, or sometimes even less. So check that out. That's also something that could really help you out too for those times that you need to get a product.
Do you want to put that in chat? Because I can't do that, but it's pirateship.com. And we just print labels at home, you guys. And so basically a rule of thumb is anything that's like a pound or more, I'm going to use UPS, anything that's under a pound, I'm using USPS, and it's up to 80% off. So it's very affordable. So for my clients personally, I do free shipping. So the advantage, you guys, is like if $300 or more from AO Medical is free shipping, plus then you get your free gifts at $500. If it costs me only $5 to send to a client, I take advantage of my bulk orders. A lot of people we saw in the beginning were trying to do that kind of drop ship stuff. So they had all these little orders and they were never getting the free gifts and they were always paying for shipping. So if you're trying to do a drop ship of one product and you're spending $22.50 for shipping, where it costs you $5 actually if you would ship it from your home, it's definitely way more affordable.
And because they're not set up to ship to retail clients, the shipping department can't discern between what is going to your client or not. So they oftentimes throw in samples, information. And so it's just, that is also a piece. And then the other thing too is oftentimes people came back, during COVID or shortly after we were still doing drop shipping, and they forget to change the address and the product goes, so it became a huge nightmare for the small company. So that is that. And someone said no sound. I think that's on your end. You gotta, I don't know. How do you, if you don't have any sound? Everyone else can hear us though, correct?
Yeah. Can everybody else hear us?
I think so. We probably would have heard.
Okay.
No,
okay. Next, Rachel, I am showing now the cart. So there,
okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
I actually clicked on the bag, but yeah, because if you click on the cart first, it goes right to checkout. So I clicked on the bag. I'll show them again here. So there's a bag.
Yeah, when you're ready to check out, so you add all your products to your order.
And you can subtract or add here.
Yep. So you can plus it to 2, Lynn. So she's going to increase. She wants 2 of them. She's buying for another SD that she works with. Okay. And so,
and then remember, it does give you this reminder here, about $500 plus orders are eligible for a free item. And then this is where you'd have to go back out to click over to the hamburger to get that drop down menu, free gift by dollar amount, to add that to your cart. Okay. All right.
Yep.
Sorry, Rachel.
Okay, so that's important because some people couldn't find out how to get stuff out of their cart. So again, circle that, Lynn, the little purse. I call it a purse.
Yep, right up here.
Right up there. Now that's also if we tell you, hey, you need to make a note. You want some
Right here.
request if they have any samples, available. You want them included, or I want some brochures.
Please
so that
add red brochures. Oops.
Yep. So that's that bag, the little shopping bag. That is where you find the order note. And if you're on your phone, it's there. You just have to scroll down. It's toward the bottom of the cart. Okay. And then it's always going to ask you who you're working with. That's good, Lynn. Mm-hmm. And it's always going to ask you who you're working with. So you check off ESTI Sisters right there. That's going to automatically populate. Okay. So we're not going to check out what Lynn just did. So let's look at what is not right with this for a second. So Lynn didn't add her free gift. Yeah. So that is going to be your responsibility. So we want to,
and then you can back up.
Yep. You want to go back to the main menu.
Okay. So now I'm at the 7,000. So I'm in the 5,000 category. So we'll go pick a nice gift.
So she went to the main menu. She scrolled down to special offer free gift. And now she's going to add something to her cart.
Okay. Lots of goodies. I could add a 30 pack of the needle-free filler facial. I could add, 5 of the cavities that retail for $1,100.
Okay. Why don't you go ahead and do that, and we'll show them how that looks when they go to checkout.
There we go.
Okay. So, yep. So this is the thing is you guys have to check your cart to make sure your gift's in there. So we have people that, hey, I clicked it and it didn't, doesn't start showing up on my invoice. So make sure I always go back. I check this, guys. I check my address, because those free gifts are very important to me. And obviously getting them to my own home is very important. So I always check that. Okay, so click on ESTI Sisters again. And then go to checkout, which is the actual shopping cart.
You know what I do want to say here, guys? You could say like a sample, if you have any samples for the mild sun protection or something like that. There are going to be times, if there is ever a time where a product was missing, or if you needed a replacement or something like that, this is also where you would add that comment like, hey, please add blah, blah, blah from order number. So you're going to use your note section for a lot, just to let you guys know that. So
and if you get confused as to where it is and you're, oh my gosh, so it's either the cart or the bag. It happens to be the bag, the shopping bag, but one of those two places you will find the note section. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Check out.
Yeah, we're going to show them how to check out as a guest real fast to show if they want to use Klarna.
Yep. There's Express, all these different options, more options even.
Yeah. Okay. So you got, this is popping up, all these options. So look, we make sure we got the free gift. We got our Dr. Playtime. Look at ESTI Sisters rep code. You don't need to enter it in again right there because it's automatically populated.
Free shipping.
Yep. When you would use that rep code and override our ESTI Sisters code would be at Thanksgiving when we have the Black Friday special. There's going to be a special code where you get a discount off of everything or most things. And then also, let's say you signed up for the 10% off text message. That would override the ESTI Sisters code. Other than that,
you can only use one code at a time. Yeah,
one code at a time. Okay, so we're going to make sure address is correct. We're going to scroll down. And gosh, I want to go to Klarna, Lynn. Can you go down? So let's see. Do I have that option? Oh, Lynn already has it on there. So some people might not. So then you want to scroll down to check out as guest. So there's two things. Okay. If you have any issues, let us know. And then you go deal with that.
Where does it say guest now?
It doesn't, because yours automatic populates.
Oh, I already have it. All right. Yeah. Because I must. Yeah. Yep. I've never used it, but somehow I have it. Yeah.
Yeah. And Shopify often saves and knows who you are and makes things easier for you at first.
But you can see again that you have so many options. So you have installments for ShopPay, installments for PayPal, installments for Klarna. So it's very generous.
Yep. And then you always want to check your shipping was free. So 0, which is what we want.
Yep.
Okay, special offers.
And then initially when you do check out, you're going to get a confirmation code. And then eventually, shortly after, you'll get an actual order number. So if you're ever reaching out to Rachel and myself and you're like, hey, check on this, or I need to get this canceled because I forgot to add something, we need to have the actual order number, not the confirmation code. Okay, so just keep that in mind.
And so where you find that order number when you communicate to us, because remember, we don't have access. You would find it by going that little head with the shoulders right there. And that'll show you. You want to click there? Look at Lynn's. Where's your order number, Lynn?
It'll have the order number here.
Yep, right there. Okay. So that's what we
And
usually need.
it happens fast. I mean, it only is like a matter of few seconds that it converts from a confirmation to an actual order number.
Mhm. Okay, where do we find the signature required for delivery or waiving it? So let's go back to the cart. You're checking out again. And it keeps asking you this, so that's okay. It'll reinforce who you're working with. Okay.
Yep. Okay. Well, I think it's automatically because I think because it's devices that it's automatically she's going to have that. I
Go
can't
to
waive it.
go to shipping method and click on that.
Okay, shipment method.
Okay. Yes. So just so you know, because yes, she's not gonna ship this
But
out.
Lydia, even though you have an option here, Lydia is
Yeah.
going to for sure automatically do with devices. She's automatically going to not let it's not going to override. Like she's going to because there's two devices of $7,000. She's going to do that for insurance purposes on her end too.
Yeah.
But when you click shipping method here, this is where you got to choose whether you want it to be signature or not. And just remember that you take on the responsibility then for that not showing up. Now, Rachel does have, I think I'm working on getting it, but for those of you who are in areas where you're like, hey, I'm working, I'm not around all the time for someone to be at home, like with USPS, you can't, I mean, UPS, I'm sorry. It's $19.99, I think, a year, and you can have your packages held there. You can change, delivery days, you can change addresses. So it's like a one-time annual fee. And that gives you flexibility if you're concerned about something's coming and, oh, shoot, I'm not going to be home that day or that time. So that is an option for you guys.
Okay. Let's see. Is there anything else on this? Otherwise, we got to move on to our support. So,
Okay, I think that's it.
anybody else have any questions on that? It does take a moment, but I trust me, you will get the hang of it. And it is worth it. That's what we feel, and most people feel. So, okay, we are going to move on now and talk about and we for sure are Zoom user. We don't know who you are, but we do have upcoming classes and trainings and shows. So we'll talk about those too. Actually, while you're, yeah. Okay. So guys, here's how you get our support. We started off just like they didn't, having this private Facebook group, which we'll get to in a second. And we had our stuff pinned to the top and you had to search it and stuff. So a couple years ago, uploaded whatever we could, all the demos we've done, protocols, to a member only section. And so Lynn, can you go to circle where you see member only section
Right
up
here,
at the top?
top left.
Yep, top left. So that is where you go to join. So click on that. Okay, now stop for a second. So if you already have an account, it's not AO Medical. This is a new password here, or you can use the same, whatever. Email, password. You can log in, but if
you have
need
to register
an
initially.
account, yes, right there. Create an account first. It's super simple. It's just email and password. And then we will get you approved. Okay, that's a big deal. All right, Lynn, can you log in there because we're going to show them that.
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to say a side note about Shopify pop-ups, you guys, not just on AO Medical, but ours, any business that offers Shopify, you can X out of that.
Hang on, I gotta get
it's just an extra security feature that they have on there, but I don't need it because I know who I am. I know I'm the one doing it. So I X out of it because it can be very frustrating, So
give me 1 second, I'm just getting the password here really quick.
Yeah.
I thought it was already logged in here. Yeah, go on, sorry.
So it's okay. So I was talking to someone the other day about that you really don't, because then it takes you, to them and it's just not necessary. And I guess that's a requirement now for them, but we can X out of that, not deal with it. Just enter our information there. Okay. So once you get in, there's a welcome, which is good to watch. And then before you click on it, let's just go over just the generic, you're saving your password and get that out of there. There we go. Okay, so scroll down a little bit. We've got we got the protocols, demo videos, suggested home care by skin type. We've got AO Medical marketing materials. We're trying to upload some of the pictures that we've done and that we've used for you guys. You can kind of right click and hold, and it'll allow you to save these to your phone or your computer, and then you could use them. Or we're doing the best we can uploading what we can because those don't really exist per se. You are allowed to go on the medical website and take screenshots and then, use those as well. And oftentimes in the beginning we did use that. And actually still today, I still do that sometimes as well. We also have past Zoom classes, so a lot of education for you. You can browse those around at your leisure. So right now I want to go up to product demonstration videos. Okay, so what I want to highlight is, I guess the computer is different than, but there is a way to actually see a bar, just they're listed like just by name. Do you have that access, Lynn? On my phone, it's different. It gives me,
Yeah, I know it's different on the phone. So let me see if it
yeah.
does. Let me.
So if she can't find that quickly, I'll just share with you. These are
No,
all
it's not here, but on your phone, it'll give you a sidebar that you can click on the actual one. This is giving me on my computer, just it's listing them out like this. But you can also do a search though for a particular facial. So
yeah.
you can too.
So
Yeah.
let's click on the brightening facial with liquid microneedlings. There we go. And we talk about it. We actually have products in the
Oh,
protocol
here,
listed.
Rachel. Once I clicked on one, they do have all the other facials pop up.
Perfect.
There we go.
Yeah. And for some reason, your screen is like too big for my thing, Lynn. Like
Okay.
it's too, I
Do you
can't
want
even.
me to just share what's here?
No, no,
Okay.
well,
Okay.
no, I was
Go
just
on.
saying maybe there's I hope everyone's seeing the full screen. That's all I'm concerned about.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, there they are. And then we got the demo. If there's a demo that exists, can you scroll down? There we go. Scroll down more and you'll see some demos and then you're going to see the protocol. And again, these are ones that Lynn and I have written. There is some flexibility. People ask us all the time, particularly maybe like about this one, the brightening one. Can I substitute this or that or that? Why we have everything in there though is because this is a brightening facial, for example. So we do take the time to really think about what we add in here, but oftentimes like cleanser or maybe different exfoliants, things like that, you do have flexibility. So these are our suggestions. A lot of times, I think all of you are familiar with this, brands say you have to use X or A to B, or sorry, A to Z, in our protocol. It's not going to work. Now, there are some facials that require that, like the needle-free filler facial. We have to use certain key components, excuse me. But a lot of times there is flexibility. When you have high quality products, you actually have flex. And we were not taught that. No, we weren't. It was just, and in a selling perspective, it probably is good to just say this only, but we do have flexibility here. So just keep that in mind also. Okay. Okay.
And then again, this is just, and if for those of you who you're really like school focused, they have this where you can watch stuff and then you can hit complete and continue. So it doesn't mean you have to do that. It's like you can see that I haven't looked like I've completed anything, but it's for some people, it's like a classroom it's set up. So technically you guys can take your time and go through all of the treatments here. Okay.
And Lynn, I wanted to
Yes.
just go back to the protocol because I want to show them there's a PDF how to download
Okay.
that.
Yeah, yeah. I clicked that. Yeah, right
Yeah,
down
those
here.
of you, yep, those of you that asked, that is how you would
Download. And you can
yeah,
print.
and print from there.
And you can
Okay.
just, if you don't want to print the top cover page, you just want to be more efficient, you could print the last one or two pages, whatever it is.
Yep, 2 or
And
3.
we have been putting our new updates as we're coming through. We're putting the revision dates on each page. So if you don't print for your binders in your treatment room, the cover page, you'll have the protocols and you know what the latest revision is. Now, we do from time to time update if there's a new modality or if there's a new product or something or a name change of something. There are times where we do tweak the protocols. And so check the revisions to just see. It's not something you do all the time, but if we'll just give you an example. For the advanced skin brightening facial, we have a brand new anti-melatonin sheet mask, which when we did comparison side by side of the AquaShort melatonin sheet mask with the new one, hands down, the anti-melatonin sheet mask by Dr. ESTI has crazy amazing ingredients. So we're going to be swapping that out in this protocol. That doesn't mean the other one isn't good and wasn't a great treatment, but if we find something new that comes out and we feel like it would give even more impact to a particular protocol or home care regimen, we're going to make that suggestion. We'll swap that out for you guys. And so just look at revision dates.
Yep. So we do that for you. Okay. So then the other thing I just want to share before we're heading off of this site is we're going to go, gosh, do you guys have any upcoming training classes or what are you doing this year? And so there is a training and events category, and we do have some on-site training. People love, first of all, we do have a lot of online education free for you and available, and you would be successful. And we have been successful without going to training for sure. However, since we've dived into this whole endeavor with AO Medical, I mean, hands-on is crazy awesome because you're networking with other estheticians, best practices, but also we go even deeper into our education. So we do have some on-site classes that are coming up in May and also in September. And we have been asked, hey, why don't you come into this state or that state? Bummer. Well, I want to tell you, this is kind of weird, but we usually have like one or two people that are local. The rest do fly in. We try to keep it very inexpensive in terms of hotel deals. We pay for your lunches, your snacks, beverages. We also give, for the cost, we also give a 5-pack of the needle-free filler facial. And so when you when you offer those in your treatment, and as you can, usually it's 200 plus, so that could pay for the cost of the class. So we just want to say that we're trying to do everything we can to make it more economical for you, those of you that really like to go deep hands-on. And then we have our lovely one of our SDs there. We got a bunch of people talking about the classes and how well they liked them. We're also, there's some testimonials there too. And then also the details are there as well. So I'm not going to go into them now, but we're covering, a lot of great facials, devices, exosomes, spicules, how to use, how to change protocols around for advanced results. So it's going to cover cold plasma, even how to use cold plasma, how we layer that too with different ampules, etc. And also booking a call you guys can do here too. Those of you that want to schedule a call with us, complimentary call. We'd love to connect with you and hear more about your business and what you need. Look at that. And has got some time open and available there on a half-an-hour slots. We also do a larger calls, and a little bit of onboarding for people who have multiple SDs in their site and stuff like that. So we got a lot of things available to you. We're also going to be in Vegas this year at the trade show. That is coming up in June, and we would love to see you guys there. Stop by if you are. We usually do a live demo class, 2 of them, on the needle-free filler facial, and then we do all kinds of things in the booth in terms of demos, usually cold plasma, our exosomes, different new treatments, probably our spicule with HOP, the spicule with the PLA in it and PDRN. What was I going to say about the Vegas?
Specials.
Oh, yes, thank you, Lynn. And then we usually, on the Hush Hush, we usually have specials. So we're able to get those approved and offered even if you didn't go to the show. So keep alert out. So you always want to pay attention, turn on your alerts on the Facebook group, and we'll show you how to do that. And also check our emails, guys. We don't send a lot of them. And when we do, it's about classes or specials or, or sometimes a newsletter.
Something really important. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's important. Yeah. So they're not too many. Okay. So now let's move to the Facebook group.
I'm going to do this, Rachel, because I'm not sure if I have that app logged in here. So I'm going to go back to here, and then we're going to go back to here. Give me one sec. And then we're going to click over there.
Okay. So this is, if you're not in here, please request access. If you already have an AO Medical account, I'm not too concerned. Like if you guys are on the call today and you're not on there, you don't have to complete all the questions. Just say, was on the class, you have an account with us, that you filled out our form, that ESTI Sisters AO Medical form, and then you'll get access. And so how we use this group is a great opportunity for you guys to share stuff with each other, and you get feedback, and it's really active, and it's wonderful what people are doing, what they're charging for different areas that we wouldn't necessarily know about, right? And what they're charging in New York and, things like that. So when you go to the featured section, if you could, you don't have to click, but just circle it with your little thing. Right there, featured. That is also where we post all our protocols. We also post suggested home care by skin type.
Information on ampules.
Yeah, we have an ampules cheat sheet. What are our favorites? Because there's a lot of them. What are they used for? So that is a really good section for you. And then also there is a search bar that you search, type in needle-free filler facial, type in Dr. Playton, type in a particular product, and see what other people are saying about it. You'll and if you don't find anything, post. If you are scared of posting or have a little apprehension, you can post anonymously if you want, but honestly, we all love you and, it's all good. And everything's been asked. But before you do, search the question in the search bar, some keywords. And honestly, a lot of times it's already been asked and answered by many people. So
how to price something, or if somebody has a preference for something. Yes, definitely. All that's available in there. And we have gone through
it. Yeah. And we ask though, if you could, start here and search, because a lot of times it just pops up, you get your answer quickly. You don't have to wait for us to get back to you. The other thing is people ask about particular products. You guys, AO Medical goes probably, I wouldn't say overboard, but so heavy into descriptions about their products, I would start there. And it's
On the
such great
website. Yeah.
education than a couple sentence or paragraph answer from us. I know that's, that's nice, but really start there. And if you can't get your question answered, search the Facebook group. And if you still can't, then send us a message. But we want to make you empowered. It's 1 o'clock, heaven forbid, 1 o'clock in the morning, and you're doing this kind of stuff, that you can actually know where to start garnering some answers to your questions.
Mhm.
Um,
And then one other thing I forgot to show you guys though, which I want to head back really quickly to the AO site, is that here, because this is people will ask a lot of times about ingredients and sometimes how to use, but I want to show you because this was something that we added as a new feature. Let me just pick something really quickly here, a product. Okay, so we've got an exfoliator, let's just say. Okay, so let's just say we're going to do the Hebotox pads. Okay. So when you're scrolling down by where you're going to order, you've got some pictures here, what it looks like. Okay, so you've got product details, which means key information about the product. So when in doubt and you're like, hey, what is this product? What's it about? Check this out first. Then we have a little link here like how to use. So how you're going to use the product. Then we've got the ingredients, the full ingredient deck. If you guys don't see an ingredient deck there, then let us know. We have most everything added. And then sometimes there's a video showing an application of something. Okay. So this is going to be a really, really great resource for you guys. And then also for some of you, you guys are like, hey, I want to find out if this has an allergen for somebody, a client's allergic to blah, 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 is something similar to such and such. You can highlight the ingredients here, copy paste, and you can put it in through like, there's actually, Rachel, can you put this in chat? It's called INCI Decoder, INCI Decoder, INCI Decoder. And it will show you like what the different ingredients are used for and stuff. But you can do a search even on chat or even in AI mode and say, are there any ingredients in here that are in the citrus family? If somebody has a citrus allergy, for example, right? Or shellfish allergy. So this is going to be the way to go because Rachel and I, we know a lot. There's a lot of products here, but we are not going to be able to tell you which, like every product that has a particular ingredient in it, because there's just so many and so many new products that come out. So if a client really had a specific allergy to something, then like cinnamon bark. Okay, I can't tell you every product that has that in it, but if you look here, cinnamon, like one of the lines here, I'm going to circle cinnamon, cassia bark. Okay, so let's just say that is an ingredient that someone's allergic to cinnamon. Run this through. And by the way, a little tip, because we'll have people like, what products in general have that in there? What you will start with is if there's a client that you're working with that has an allergy to something and you're trying to find a moisturizer from them, first start with, okay, what's their skin type? What issues do they have? And that'll narrow it down to 2 or 3 different moisturizers and then just check the ingredient deck that way as opposed to like out of the entire website, out of 8 brands or 9 brands, what has cinnamon in it?
Yep.
Yes, Rachel.
And then I would also, before you go and check the website, I would look on that cheat sheet that that you have available to you on suggested home care by skin type. So you'd say, this is what I want for this particular client who's got rosacea. So then look at that, take that brand or that product name, do a search, take a look at the ingredients, and start from there too. So that'll help you narrow down as well in a big way. Now, the other thing, Lynn, can you click on the details, product details? I just want to show you guys, like, they can be pretty comprehensive. This one's interesting. I mean, they put this in these little photos, but honestly, each photo is really important to read. It's about, the topical neurotoxin.
The key ingredients, the patented ingredients.
Yeah. And a lot of times this one's a little bit different, but a lot are like who it's used for. It's got an abundance of information. The last thing I wanted to share about this is that you're going to find some protocols that differ from ours slightly, or you're going to find some videos that may be doing things a little differently. Fine, if you want to do that.
That's the how-to.
Yeah, go ahead and try out that particular protocol or video. But when you're working with Lynn and I, we really love what we've done in terms of the protocols and the things that we're using. So you're not going to find everything consistent with us, but it's not inconsistent that it's so freaky. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example,
it's usually augmented. It's usually
we
added
augment. So when we have a needle-free filler facial for restoring volume to the skin, oh my gosh, we just came out with a volumizing peel. Why wouldn't we add that to our protocol? Or for example, we have a device that plumps and lifts and tones. Well, let's add that to the protocol. Oh, we have cold plasma that increases channeling. So the product penetrates 24% deeper. Well, gosh, that makes sense. Now, on our protocols, we do say optional because we don't want you to feel that you need everything. And the facial, for example, that one by itself is extraordinary. But we're just giving those people that want to, like, they're having fun. They want to continue to amplify and do different things. We're giving you those options. And so I do want to finish off by saying that those of you that might be overwhelmed, because it is kind of overwhelming because there's so much.
Are you okay if I stop the screen share? Or do you want me to keep?
Sure.
Okay.
Because we're really excited and passionate. So you might pick up on that and go, holy moly, So we want you to know that if you haven't scheduled a call, that's a great way to kind of have a little, one-on-one time to help get you set up. So feel free to take advantage of that. That's on the website. And then if you have any questions, let us know. Because we are here for you.
And if you feel like later there's something we missed, let us know. Otherwise, set up those discovery calls if you guys want some personalized attention with specifically what your business needs, help with something. We're definitely here for you guys.
And then we'll also probably send out something via email as well. So we got a lot of stuff coming to different classes. We'll be having one in a couple months for new products. So we'll be covering it there as well.
Oh yeah, we forgot to mention that. So every quarter, because you'll notice that with AO Medical is going to be sending you. So you always order through AO Medical. Rachel and I are always your support, your reps, your educators. Every quarter, we gather all the new devices, protocols, products that come out, and we put a class together for you guys. So those classes can be found on our website as well and in our ESTI Sisters Facebook group. So we call them showcases, AO Medical showcases, and we'll have like Q1 2026, Q4 2025. So if you want to see what's been around, what's new in the last, 6 months or whatever, watch the last couple of the classes, because we literally do a deep dive on the ingredients, how it compares to some other treatments or masks that we have, products that we have that may seem similar. Do we prefer one over the other and why? So very exciting to help you guys just stay on top of new things so you don't feel too overwhelmed with the fact that new products drop pretty regularly.
Yep. Okay, guys, enjoy the rest of your, is it Sunday?
Sunday.
Enjoy. We don't know. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and please feel free to reach out. And those of you that are overwhelmed, start simple, start small. We can help you. Even 1 or 2 products, you'll be like impressed. And that's how I started, just with a couple products. And I was like, whoo. And then I went from there. Or there's other people that jump in, and want to try all of it at once. So whatever you need, we're here to help answer your questions. Okay, guys? God bless. Take care. We'll see you soon. Okay?
Thank you, guys.